Hey, I'm Terri Murphy for Tuesdays with Terri, and we always want to focus on how we best connect with communication. And something I just learned from a great book, her name is Catherine D. Kinsler. It's How You Say It. Why you talk the way you do and what it says about you. I never really thought about this, although Jeff Foxworthy does a great job about pointing out the difference between the way the South speaks and the way other areas speak. But here's what I learned. There is a bias about linguistics, and it comes as early as a very young child. You hear things, the way they're said, and the accents, the dialects, the pacing, the vowels, all of those things tell us who we are and who we hang around. And it can change. It's very interesting. And where this applies to anybody that deals with trying to persuade or invite or engage people is that there is this already programmed bias that you have about how someone sounds. And so how do you get around that? Well, you want to embrace linguistic diversity is what she calls it. And I really like the way she said it. Understanding and appreciating different ways of speaking can foster better connections and create a more inclusive society or connection relationship. When you think about it, we have to process with conversational intelligence in that 7 seconds that we see someone and experience them. And so often we go into a box that is our protection and gives us some context, but it could be incorrect. It could be not appropriate. It could be a barrier that you don't know that you have. And you want to go beyond speech. So often someone can sound really lovely, as you can see in some horror movies, and then be a terrible person. Or they can say something that's really important, but we don't hear it because we're in this judgment piece in the back of our head. So the key here is let's try to notice where we have a bias on linguistics, how things are pronounced, how people pace. Remember, we have behavioral styles. Some people speak slower, some people speak faster. But to become aware of these barriers that could basically break a connection with another human, and it really shouldn't, because I don't know that you could control where you were born like the rest of us, but at the end of the day, it's people need to connect. We are a social society. We depend on communication, and yet there's so many nuances of how that communication is transmitted that it could be something you could be much better at picking up, being aware, and embracing that difference. I'm Terri Murphy for Tuesdays with Terri, a whole program on communication specialty on presentation skills to make you the rock star of your next presentation. For my ebook, which I've just completed and updated, just email me at terri@terrimurphy.com and we'll be sure you get a copy. Thanks for joining us and see you next Tuesday.